talk to us, send us messages via social media platforms. We love it when you do that. Also remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, both at City 1051. So let's start off with major headlines in the Punch newspaper this morning. The major one has to do with governors. 20 governors under fire for delaying 70,000 naira minimum wage. Police command brace for fresh nationwide protest. Supreme Court judgment, Abure fears Labour Party headquarters takeover by NLC. Why Trump tariff is bad for Nigerian exports, says federal government. On 2027, coalition pushes for single-term candidate. Nigeria's debt servicing rises 68% to 13 trillion naira. How Bobrisky smuggled ATMs into Kirikiri, paid 35 million naira to leave large, says Kirikiri Bale. Kwara shortlists 1,800 for teaching jobs. 15 injured in Lagos gas explosion. Reps plan committee for rivers warns administrator against making laws. Crude price crash. Petrol can drop below 400 naira per litre, says refiners. These are the headlines in the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, let's go over to The Guardian, by the way, this morning and see, what it's looking like there as regards the headlines. Now, I started from the top one, the lead story in The Guardian. Northern governors condemn attacks on Plateau communities. Also, President Tinubu vows to punish gunmen behind Plateau attacks. Abia State Governor Oti says, I'll retire after my tenure as governor. IGP invites Emir Sanusi for alleged infraction during Salah celebration. Nigeria's public debt rises by 48.58% to 144.67 trillion naira. Rather, reject bill by redefining indigenous identity, protect cultural heritage. Also, Serap tells Tinubu reject $1 billion World Bank loan, probe missing NBET's 233 billion naira. While NDLA nabs Indian-bound brothers with cocaine in Lagos, Senate committee inspects Bodo Boni Road project. Those are the major headlines there from The Guardian.
From the Vanguard, we're now moving to The Guardian now. No. Northern governors.
Guardian.
Vanguard. Oh, okay. All right. I have to move on to the Vanguard now. Interesting. But do not forget, we'll be taking messages soon on the show. Remember, you can send us messages on WhatsApp, 09099164403, and on X, we're at City1051. Major headline in the Vanguard newspaper. Cybercrime Act, emergency rule protest, anxiety as police and organizers differ. Ikpeazu, Ugwain, Shehu, Sani, Omokri, others make ambassadors list. No respite for textile industry as domestic market shrinks further. Register now for 2025 Vanguard discourse. Trump tariffs, experts raise fresh alarm over battered naira. Rising gym fees, men join women in body shape market. Interesting. The Uromi killings, you want to know about it? Read up on that in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And tribunal, it was obvious PDP had no case against Okpebolo, Edo AG says. Labour Party crisis, it's time to give peace a chance, OT tells Abure faction. Supreme Court decision on LP leadership may have come too late, says Senator Imasuen. These are the headlines in the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and these are the headlines we can take right now on City Press. We go straight into discussing some of the major stories that, of course, caught our attention. Helping us to do that is Biodu Shomi. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
We're going to start off with this issue that's been on for quite some time, but looks like it's not improving anytime soon, and it has to do with our debt profile. Nigeria's public debt rises by 48.58% to 144.67 trillion naira. Now, this was the case as of December 31st, 2024, but it's expected that by 2025 December, this would also increase to about 157 trillion naira. Beyond show me if there's one of the things that was promised as a result of the removal of subsidy was that we will use the money to perhaps service our debt. one would wonder what is happening with that. Is that the case right now?
Prior to this administration,
Yeah.
we've accumulated quite a lot of debt. Naira was still not heavily devalued, and subsidy was still in place. Now, with the campaign promises, we had a lot to be done, with the subsidy. And I'm aware that investment in education, health, and all that were promised, and investment in development issue. But I cannot recall, I'm not perfectly sure that it was precisely said that it will be used to service debt. In any case, we've been servicing debt, but what we did over the years was to stop direct borrowing the moment we hit about 60% debt ratio, to our GDP under Buhari. We now started doing forward contracts, selling oil in advance, collecting the money, using it as security, so that when you sell the oil later, they will collect the money. And that was how we now erode the means of even repaying the debt which we had. So the Tinubu administration has also contributed to the debt by also borrowing. There's no country that doesn't have any debt, or even United States, the richest country in the world.
Think about $1.8 trillion at the last year, 2024.
That's the deficit.
Yeah, deficit. Yeah,
in the budget for
yeah.
the year. The actual debt is $36 trillion owed by the Americans. The Americans are funding their budget to the tune. They're holding China alone $3 trillion in dollars. So there is no country that does not have one form of debt or the other, including Russia. Now, that is not the issue.
Okay.
The real issue is this: how is it that our debt keeps climbing? There are two major factors responsible for it. The first one is because we keep borrowing. In fact, importantly, it's not just, there are two major sources of borrowing. Even though the Tinubu administration has brought down the debt ratio to, I think, about 54% of the GDP ratio from 60, but it's still higher than the global average of 40% of the GDP. That's the debt ratio. So it's still higher. We are yet to come below. I don't believe those who say we are now below 40%. I don't believe that. If you say we are below 40%, it's simply because of the devaluation of the naira. So when you actually look at that, you keep borrowing, so your debt will keep going up, even though you are repaying. And that is why they are borrowing you, because you are repaying. The second factor is the strength of the naira against the dollar. All the dollar appreciates and the naira depreciates, you are going to need more naira to buy the dollar, particularly for the foreign debts. You may gain on the local debts in terms of having more naira to pay your local debt, since it may not necessarily affect the interest rate. That depends on the CBN. But in terms of the foreign debts, you will have to use more naira to buy the dollar to pay back. So within that context, those are the two factors responsible for our rising debts. And as long as we keep borrowing, we should expect the repayment at a point will come, and then you have to start paying back. The worrying thing for me is, which is not clear in that report, is are we paying interest or interest with the principal? If you are just paying interest alone, the actual debt is still there. So that is what has not been made very clear by the DMO, the Debt Management Office. So it's important to look at that. Are you paying just interest or interest with the principal?
Now, when we look at the reasons governments borrow, especially for Nigeria in this situation, actually why it's going to increase to about 157 trillion by December, is to fund the budget. And in the budget, it's expected that things that you should do to run the country, basically. So we're looking at things like education, security, and all of that. With how much we've borrowed so far, looking at what it should be used for, it doesn't add up.
I will be concerned if we are borrowing to fund recurrent expenditure, because that's highly unproductive. If we are borrowing to fund critical infrastructure, let me give you power. Power is extremely important. Distribution lines are over 50 years old, And that is why you see the grid collapsing time and time again. And if you fix power sector, believe me, we may end up contributing 20-25% to new jobs in employment, apart from youths being able to creatively use their skills to do a lot of things. So for me, if you are borrowing to fix power, I understand that. If you are borrowing to fix roads in rural areas so that we can move goods to city centers, cheaper, I understand that. If you are borrowing to fix logistic transport, I understand that. If you are borrowing to fund agriculture with a view to ensure that we are not a mono economy, I understand that. So the issue is, what are we really borrowing for? It's quite very important. If you are borrowing to say, for instance, we are funding, we are borrowing to fix education, in what way? We already have so many universities that are highly underfunded. What we need is to follow the Tanzania model when it comes to education. You don't need so many universities because you have a lot of, overhead expenditure. And where you have a University of Dar es Salaam, which is probably one of the biggest or the biggest in Africa, where you have different campuses and you do not necessarily have new infrastructure, new heads, new this, new that, new VC and all that. Go and count the number of vice chancellors we have in Nigeria. Nigerian universities, we do not have the same population. Some of our universities, the biggest, like University of London, what they have is colleges, Imperial College, King's College, and all these and all that. So therefore, in order to reduce expenditure, so we should be learning to free resources and then invest it in actual education rather than investing resources in overhead expenditure. So I think there are other ways to look at it. I'll be concerned if you are borrowing money, to invest in education as structured currently.
Okay, it's pretty interesting take on that. I was going to add that to the fact that what you said there. It's necessary for us to take this money where we can spend on ventures that would actually bring in more for the country. I feel like over time we've always been spending, like you said, on recurrent expenditures on things where we don't get a return, which is why maybe the debt continues to rise at this point in time. Let's shift gears a bit and go to the Guardian. Obviously, one of the issues from the weekend has to do with the Plateau killing, and a lot of reactions to this one. And I'm wondering where the Nigerian authorities, security authorities, are finding these people who are responsible for attacking 5 communities in Boko's local government area in Plateau. It's like we're nowhere at this point in time. Lots of talk from the president. The governor of Plateau State has also come out, to say we'll bring the perpetrators to book. Governor Muftarang. NSA also, the National Security Advisor too, talking about no Ribadu, has said they will end these killings, but have they been able to find the people responsible for this?
It's quite unfortunate. One must feel sad, even if one person lost their life as a result of mindless violence. It's quite unfortunate, and as a nation, we should all be very, very concerned. Now, the security situation in the Middle Belt, Benue and Plateau State is so precarious to the extent that it's time we really need to face the bull, by the horn. We really need to grapple, take on all the issues involved. We know all the characters and the elements and the factors responsible. We've gone ahead to create a Ministry of Livestock, which is meant to address the concerns of herders, but in many of those cases, it has always been the issue of others. And of course, you need to understand the genesis of it. We used to have what they call, during colonial rule, West African grazing route. The West African grazing route actually cut across to Benue and Plateau, into other parts of the north. But the essence, then was for cattle rearers to be able to move their pasture when during the not summer, hot period, what do they call it?
Dry season.
Dry season.
Dry season.
To move them down towards where they can get, green vegetables and all that. And that's over a period of years after colonial independence. Many of the communities have grown, expanded even to the point of erasing what they used to call West African grazing route. So we now have new nations and all that, and they've all disappeared. So that left a major problem for cattle rearers and all that, and that has been a major reason why they kept going through those states, because they felt, it was still the same routes that they used to have. Now, nobody paid any country for those routes. That's the truth of the matter. The land is now owned by different states and all that. Land has been invested by 1978 land use decree into the state government. Now, what the federal government needs to do is what the whole country have been talking about since Jonathan's regime: ranching, so that nobody needs to move cattle here and there anymore if we establish ranches. So when the federal government, when the Tinubu's administration, created the Ministry of Livestock, some of us thought maybe the goal was to accelerate ranches so that nobody by now should be moving cattle anywhere. We should employ it, because that is the major source of the problem which we have in the Middle Belt. And the people in the Middle Belt deserve to live, in peace. And also, I'm not saying that cattle rearers do not have a right to engage in business, but they should embrace the modern form of rearing cattle. If that means like under Buhari that the federal government will have to pay for ranches, I don't agree with that. Nobody helps poultry farmers to build their poultry or to build piggery. If you are interested in cattle farming, you must be able to buy the land and establish your own ranches. So I think the ball is in the court of the federal government. There's no point in dealing with those who are killing people without addressing their problem. If you want to be tough on terrorism, you have to be tough on the causes of terrorism.
Show me, this particular attack in Plateau is kind of unique, because normally, like you said, what we've had in the past years, and even most recently in Plateau, is you have herders fight going against farmers, or you have something as regards a tribe, or even religious, crisis. But for this one looks unique because we can't really trace it to anything. Can we really even trust that, first off, the security agencies have gathered enough intelligence as regards this attack?
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you speak to the people in Plateau, they will tell you they have their suspicion. When it comes to security, they are extremely very careful. They don't want to inflame one community against the other. Yeah. So they are always extremely very careful on what they say to the public, even though they actually know the truth. And you can't blame them. It's the nature of their job. They have to be responsible enough to ensure that they are not adding to the problem rather than resolving them. Nobody wants anarchy in our country, but you need to look at the patterns of the attacks in Middle Belt, then you know where this issue is coming from. Nobody will get up in a day and start killing people in that manner and destroying communities. There's a clear pattern. When you look at the pattern and you look at the triggers of the breakdown, you will begin to see where the issues are coming from.
All right, thank you so much, Biola, for analysis on these topics we've discussed this morning. We'll now move over to the phone lines now. Call in on the show, talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. But remember, you have 60 seconds to air your views. Please ensure that every statement you make is backed with facts and your comments are civil. Hello, good morning.
Kangbelina.
You're welcome, Kangbelina. Talk to us.
Your analyst was saying that when you asked about money, he said whether if they are borrowing for capital infrastructure and all that. But the question is, these people that are here now, are they borrowing for any kind of infrastructural development? Is there anyone we can see? Buhari was there for 8 years, and you are borrowing money more than what he borrowed in 2 years. So what did you do with the money? They borrow money for poor people. At the end of the day, the money still goes back to themselves. So they are not giving us account of what that. So my children's children will start paying for somebody that has eaten money and has gone. It's too poor. It's very bad. People should stop suffering our grandchildren like that. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much for always keeping your comments short and straight to the point. So, Kangbelina, we implore others to do so too as you call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you.
How's the weekend?
Welcome. It was good. How was yours?
Good.
Nice. Go ahead,
now,
please.
The truth of the matter is, when people start bringing sentiments about security, that has to do with the north. will keep on talking about this issue. The truth of the matter is, the governors are complaining. They are not taking these issues headlong. And I stand to be corrected. Mr. Shomi is there. Let's pinpoint somebody or group of people who have been caught, who have revealed information to us, and we dig into that information and we bust these people once and for all. Who? Nobody. It's just kill, catch, and kill. Who is investigating who? We keep on talking about this thing year in, year out, and it keeps on happening. Doesn't mean, okay, that incident happened in 24 hours. It doesn't mean that within 72 hours we cannot lay our hands on anything. Abba. That is not how things is done in other places. I think the northern governors that are complaining, they have a lot to do. And it is them that will start it. And it is better they start it to save their people and save this country. Enjoy your money, people.
All right, thank you very much. You too, enjoy your morning. 0700-1051-1051.
Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to the City family.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
More blessing for all of you. And my name is Prince Wires, calling you from Amodo. I think we need the national security summit in the north. Security summit in all the member states of the north. Championed by Mr. President. To see that table, the Fulani, the Taraba, any tribe in the north, let them see that table. This is all that personal ruler to sit down. What is the problem? Because if we do this thing, they are to themselves. As something will happen, we don't know how it is. And the DSS now, the head of DSS, if the man is not ready to perform, it's supposed to boot the address now. Because majority that's happening in Delta area, DSS is their work to go and locate where they have their meeting, how did they recruit their member, everything will be done. And finally, my dear, Minister for Work, you are in Lagos. What is did I love very dearly. All the maintenance of bridge should be taken care of. And finally, Lagos is dark during the night. Please, my brother in the studio, help me tell the governor, tell the minister, we need to light during the night. That's part of security. You are fighting security, part of it. Good morning. God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Remember, we'll take your messages on social media soon. On X, it's at 61051. On WhatsApp, it's 0909-916-4403.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bellison. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, what's your name first and where are you calling from?
I don't want to lose this money.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
You see, for this part of the world, you want to do a business and go have land, and you want the government to get land for you, or what? The government has make it clear. You want to do anything, and you will get a land, you get a piece of land, and you keep your something there. You are doing your business. That's that. You see, when this APC come on board, we are thinking that they will do the better thing. But propaganda, all this propaganda, you borrow for what? You borrow for education, or you borrow for marketing, or you borrow for election. Let us know. It is then everything will be moving. People can now say, I have rest of mind that they borrow for this election. So, but you are borrowing. We didn't know what they use the money for. What for? Is it for property election or what? It's better they change their system so that we know where we are going. And the position that they say one time is better.
Thank you so much. Your time is up. Thank you very much.
Time is up. We'll move now to messages on X. Jeremiah says, good morning to you guys in the studio. Nigeria can borrow money from Wike, Tinubu, Dangote, Otedola, IBB, Atiku, Abdullah, Abubakar, and others. Okay, I guess I'll just... This is actually a claim that is not backed with facts. Jeremiah, we've said this times without number, that you should always drop comments that you know you can back it up with facts. Thank you very much. Move on to other messages now on WhatsApp.
Yeah, this is Timitokwe Onatoye. Does it not sound ridiculous that the past administrations was paying subsidy on fuel leading to accumulate debt that is now up to 144 trillion naira within 2 years under this administration, in which Nigerians cannot boast of having a daily standard 2 square meal? What has this administration done with the money saved from fuel subsidy? Finally, it's time for the government to take a proactive step by placing a ban on shops selling gas, as explosions are becoming too rampant, thereby destroying lives and property.
Fabian Shuobi says, Mr. Abiodun, why are countries like America, Canada, Germany, UK, Australia, China, etc., subsidizing energy in their countries? Is it not to enhance manufacturing?
When it comes to energy, you really need to speak to people who are living abroad, and you will understand what is really going on. It's killing in UK. Please call and fact check me. It's same thing. German economy is collapsing gradually as a result of gas energy problem. So where that subsidy is coming from, I don't understand that, because it's the private sector controlling the gas industry in UK, and same thing in Germany. They have their own issues.
Okay, Odion Bright says, I have always said time without number that this APC government has nothing to offer Nigerians. Please shine your eye in 2027. Okay, your thoughts?
Okay, Abiodun David Timitope says, anyone that takes a critical look at President Tinubu and Nigeria as a nation with happenings and still believes this president with his anti-citizen policy is the answer to Nigeria's problem, then that person needs to be used. Okay, Tinubu is taking Nigerians' debt profile to an all-time record, and Mr. Shomi, as usual, keeps defending and comparing it to the US and Russia. Many people were murdered in Plateau, and Tinubu didn't declare a state of emergency, but quickly declared the same in Rivers State with no killings.
Okay, this is Jeremiah here who says, I wish Obi can get credible Nigerians to form a party due to the situation at Labour Party, and let those empty people there be on their own. I bet they can't produce a single councillor from the Labour Party.
This one is a message from Ola from Lagos. Says, I can't understand or physically see benefits and values of all the borrowing made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. This government met a debt of 17 trillion naira, and within 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, they've increased our debt to 170 trillion naira. Unfortunately, nothing on ground to show for this. Wastages everywhere on frivolous spending. Imagine after 21 billion naira spent on renovation of the Vice President Shetima's residence, the house has not been occupied due to security-related issues.
All right, Emeka Moses from Lagos says, good morning. One of the reasons why this government removed fuel subsidy was to save money and borrow less. How come we are borrowing more and huge sums of money in dollars wasted servicing debts that wasn't useful to the economy and no impact on the life of Nigerians? And the funny part of this is that most of the people incurring these wasteful debt might not be alive to actually repay them. It's unfortunate this justification that every nation borrows or in debt.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on City Press for today. Thank you, Bjorn Shomi, for being our guest.
Thank
and
you
we'll join us again tomorrow.
Yeah, I've just had to put this out there. I think, like Chuete said before, I just have to reiterate. Please, when you send messages, there are words you should not use. We've been seeing some words this morning that we're looking at those messages, we're overlooking them. You can't call someone a criminal just for the sake of calling when they have not been charged to courts, they've not been convicted of anything, of any crime, and you keep calling those names and calling them criminals. You can't come out and say someone is a brigand. The aim is not to just throw words that we just like. The aim is to put our comments across in a civil manner, please and please, so we can read your messages. Because going forward, once we see some sort of words on messages, we will not read them at all. We will not read them at all. Thank you very much.
Definitely will not do that. Up next is Sports City, and what happened to Liverpool yesterday? Seems like they're sleeping now. Should Arsenal? Be able to show me?
I like the smile on his face.
Be able to show me what's happening to Liverpool? What's going on? What happened yesterday? Was it a bad day at the office?
Because
or?
Arsenal drew on Saturday, so we decided to take a break.
Okay. I see where you're coming with that. Okay, interesting. But be careful, though. Don't let the break be too long, because Arsenal they're coming.
No, we're just prolonging the league so that you can enjoy it a little bit better. Then a bit anxious, will we do it or not? We won the league.
And then your Liverpool will still win the league.
We have won. We won before the league commences.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Talk about confidence and talking about when your team does what they're supposed to do, you hear things like this. But then again,
there were lots of mistakes yesterday. Even the coach said it that it was a defensive mistake. It's not a case of don't worry, the team has gone complacent. It happens, bad day at the office. But like he said, like Broden Shomi said, it's going to still more like increase the drama as days draws by for the end of the league. We thought Liverpool have won the title by now, but with 7 matches left, you're asking, can Arsenal do something?
Well,
9 points away.
it's really not what Arsenal can do. It's really what Liverpool does right now. So it's more in the hands of Liverpool than the hands of Arsenal. So if Liverpool should slip, then that's when Arsenal has a chance. But if they don't, whatever Arsenal does will not count. So
Let's see.
we wish them the very best. Sports updates coming way up next on Breakfast in the City with Onome Damiloju and Michael Mark Orsagi. My name is Chiwata. I'll see you after my coffee break.
Go get it. Go get it. You need it. Go get it.
Do you look like?
Match the voice with the face.
Oh, wow. You know your voice doesn't match your face.
And catch up with our visual and digital content on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at CD1051.
Excuse me, what just happened? What about TikTok?
Oh, sorry. And on TikTok at CD1051FM. Watch, listen, comment, and share because there is love in sharing. Your invasion of our privacy is allowed. Stalk us.
Is it okay to make fun of our TikTok? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Onga, 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 onga. Yeah, let's cook with onga. Now another jolly on him. Oh, happiness for everybody. When you cook with onga, the aroma and the taste, it is sweet and
Onga for ogbonge taste and aroma.
It's tasty, creamy, and nourishing. It's original Niger yogurt. It's Fan Yogo. Go for the new Fan Yogo drinking yogurt. Fan Yogo, original Niger yogurt.
Are you aware that your wealth can go further? Way further. Think about it. You could be investing in Dubai or buying a home in the United Kingdom. Big opportunities need big thinking and the right partner. That's where we come in. With Standard Chartered Bank Nigeria Limited, you get more than just banking. You get access to a global network and tailored solutions designed to grow, manage, and protect your wealth for generations to come. Whether you're looking to invest, expand, or secure your legacy, we are here to help you make the right moves at the right time. So, why wait for an opportunity when you can stay ahead of the curve? Now's your time for wealth. Open a Standard Chartered Priority Banking account between March 17th and May 15th to receive a 500,000 Naira voucher. T's and C's apply. Email prioritybanking.ng@sc.com to start.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Show me love. You show, you show, you show love.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so. It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Do you
know that acquiring your dream home has been made easy? Introducing Citadel View Estate 1.0 Phase 2. Enjoy 100% solar-powered homes with modern facilities, all in a secure and serene environment. Situated at Comfort Ugeoke Street, Songotedo, Ajah, Lagos. With just 40% initial deposit, you can spread the balance for up to 10 months. For inquiries, call 0700-020-0824 or visit www.thecitadelviews.com. Citadel View Estate. Your dream home awaits.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1 million destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day and crystal flows in the night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us. So come see, touch, taste and feel South Africa. Come journey with us. Visit www.southafrica.net and see for yourself.
Warning, we are the most addictive radio station in Lagos.
City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station. Breakfast in the City on City FM.
You in my life, and it feels like paradise. Oh no, next life I still wanna be a lover. Yeah, girl, time never flies, and I am by your side. Oh baby, all my life I got a feeling I can't describe. And baby, when you smile, it feels like summer, like summertime. Make the body go. Girl, it's up for you. You make it body go. You make me hyper. Yeah. Go down, mama, go down now. I know you like your pacifier. Let me make you sing like a choir. Let me make you sing like a choir. Give me fire. Take me higher. When you roll, you make me low, Ooh, baby. All my life, I got a feeling I can't describe. Oh baby, when you smile, it feels like summertime.
City 1051 FM, the best radio station in the heart of Lagos. We run the city.
The chants from the stands.
Magruder, the blow by.
Every miss and every block.
Oh, yes!
Every shot and every dunk.
He has done it!
The goals and celebrations that make the game come alive.
They've had to wait for the title, but good things come to those who wait. Celtic!
When all comes to a stop. The story continues on Sports City. Get the best sports banter with a different edge on Sports City. Join Onome Appeal, Damiloju Saliu, and Michael Mark Osagie every weekday from 8 a.m. on Sports City. Only on City 1051 FM.
Isn't that just typical? What a way to win the title!
Sports City, the home of sports banter.
For the right dosage of sports, hang with the most reliable crew. Get the info, stats, scores, and unpopular opinions on Sports City.
Sports City.
that was by Muniz, who squeezed it under Callaghan and extended Fulham's lead.
Fulham shocks Liverpool with a win right there at Craven Cottage to delay the Liverpool's impending celebration for the title, or could we call it a hope for Arsenal, as they are now reduced the deficit between them and Liverpool to 9 points there, with Arsenal also themselves dropping some points early on Saturday when they played against Everton. Elsewhere in the La Liga, it's more interesting seeing that Real Madrid dropped 3 points, losing to Valencia. For Barca themselves, they dropped a few points but not a loss as they continue to stay top of the table there. And then also in Italy, in Inter Milan drew, and you wonder if Napoli can take advantage today by getting a win away at Bologna. Welcome to Sport City this Monday morning. It's a brand new week, 8:01. I am Onome.
Oluwadam Loju, wondering what side of the bed Onome woke up on to be giving Arsenal fans hope. Liverpool still need 4 wins from the next 7 games. And like I said in December,
it was 4 from 8 before, Abi.
And it's so they still need the same number of wins
from a reduced number of games. All it takes is for them to lose the next one.
Will Arsenal win all their games? Did we see Arsenal over the week? Damiloju is the name, by the way.
Well, you get one great musician we sing the song, Give Me Hope, Joanna, give me hope. Michael is the name.
Michael, who's that? Who sang that song? Please.
Let me see. You know, the name don't skip my head.
Okay.
I had the same face.
Please, when you remember.
Give me proof. MMO, give me proof.
When you remember, I'd like to know, because you always take us back to the
Eddie Grant. Thank you. That's him. Eddie Grant. He's from Guyana. Yeah, he's British, but from Guyana originally.
He has added more context to the man's heritage. Yeah, thank you very much. You always take us back to the 70s and the 60s. Like you just have a knack for doing that.
And the past centuries also.
Okay. Please, let's stay with the 21st century. And I really don't know how you're just looking at us. Amy, how are you?
I was lost. Who is Eddie Grant again, please?
Whoa, that song now very. No worry. After the whole.
Did they even give birth to my mom then?
Wow. In Alpha, what football match was your boyfriend? Sorry, what football match were you watching this weekend?
Please, I could stage a workout right now.
What don't drag me. Wrong?
What do you mean by that? You know, I ain't got no man.
Oh, okay.
Please, don't do that. Yes.
I just thought you were so.
I'm enjoying.
I never even finished.
Hold it, please.
I know sometimes you miss out on the action, and it might take a man being beside you to just, what match are we watching?
That sentence you just made. I was talking about sports.
You're talking about football.
No hope granted for Manchester United. It's understandable.
Yeah, your Manchester United played yesterday.
In Lord we trust.
No goals scored. I would have told them to come take a few numbers off the back of your jersey, but it's fine. They'll be good. They'll be good.
I'm not wearing that jersey right now.
It's fine. Please, you don't wear your jersey?
I do not wear it.
Okay.
I wore it yesterday actually. With the hope that they were going to win, but then
it's okay.
It's sad. Shout out to all the Liverpool fans. So I had to console a lot of my Liverpool friends. Apparently they walk alone right now. I'm so sorry. But then Fulham, Liverpool. I actually expected more from Liverpool. I don't think Fulham is such a.
Yeah, they only just cost them Fulham.
Fulham actually.
You can share.
Sorry, what tournament is this?
It's the Premier League.
Oh, okay.
It's the Premier League, by the way. Champions League will be later midweek.
Okay, you guys
on Tuesday, don't worry. You ask us again. Which
tournament is this? I'm always asking them, Loju.
By then, we'll be talking AFCON.
So you can be about the show. Do you think Arsenal still has that glimmer of hope as regards?
Sorry, what team did they play against yesterday?
Who, Arsenal?
Arsenal,
No, they played on Saturday.
They played on Saturday.
They played on Saturday.
They played on Saturday. What number are they on?
They're second. Second on the table.
I think they're doing well.
Just 9 points away from Liverpool.
11 points.
9 if they won.
It's
11.
Oh,
it was 12 before. Arsenal got a point and Liverpool got 0.
Sorry, this point thing. I am sorry, but this point thing, what does it mean?
The number, so when you win the game, you get 3 points. When you draw, you get 1, and then when you lose, you get 0.
Just think about your MPS ranking.
I'm out.
That's how it is.
I'm leaving.
That is the same table. That's how it is. That's how it is. It's just
all the references.
It's just
I will not take this. Don't do this to me. Don't.
Let's drive off to Formula 1.
Across the
different sports around the globe. It's Global Sports Scene on Sports City.
All right, quickly in Formula One at the weekend for Verstappen, the reigning champion in Formula One, he finally got his first win this season.
Yeah, first pole, first victory. He was able to hold on from pole to the checkered flag, eventually holding off at the likes of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. It seems like he's going to be between these three in the next maybe 4, 5, 6 years. Eventually, he was able to wrap up his first race of the season. He's now second on the table, just 1 point behind Lando Norris, who has 62 points in total after 3 races. Next stop, Bahrain.
Okay, in tennis also, weekend tournament was wrapped up as his Charleston Open, and it's Jessica Pegula who overpowered Sophia Kenin to get the title right there in the USA. Let's go over to more things happening in the USA, but this time in basketball. The Indiana Pacers, for the first time in 5 years, they finally understand what it feels like to get a win over the Nuggets.
It was a very big one for the Indiana Pacers, especially when you look at the fact that at the point in the second quarter, they were 13 points behind. They eventually went on to win this one 125-120 over the Nuggets. It's the Pacers' 4th consecutive win. It's the Nuggets' 4th consecutive loss. And Jokic is on that monstrous triple-double. He's 32nd of the season, most by a center in a particular season, but that was not enough for the.
There was some good
Nuggets.
numbers too for some other players. Christian Brunt putting up 30 points.
Miles Turner got 24.
For the Pacers,
yes,
there,
and Obi Toppin with 22.
It's quite good for the Pacers. I think they are like a yo-yo team. Today they're this, tomorrow they're that, and to see them go 4 straight games with a win, it's quite unusual. But I think they're a team they're trying to improve some more this season. In the East right now, they are 4th. So them getting this win against the Nuggets is actually very, very important in 5 years.
Absolutely,
in 5 years.
You talk
2019 was the last time they won, and that was
2020 in January.
In January
of 2020
yes,
was the last time.
That was the last time they won.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Congratulations to the Pacers. And let me just talk, since you mentioned the Eastern Conference, the playoff teams are already known. We just need to know the rankings. But Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, and Pistons have confirmed their place in the top 6.
So the Magic cannot do any magic from Orlando?
No, playing. They will do well with playing. For the Nuggets, they stay in 4th, and then the Lakers are in 3rd. And then we also have the OKC. The OKC lost to the Lakers, by the way. The Lakers were able to beat the OKC earlier in the weekend. Bucks also getting a win away at the Pelicans, and Rockets defeating the Warriors.
All right, so that's an update there from the NBA. Still talking about more basketball. A Nigerian team has gotten a good start at the Basketball Africa League, also organized by the NBA. We're talking about that one on Local Flavor.
Up next, Local Flavor.
Toby Amazon, look at the clock. I cannot believe it.
Giving you the breaking sports stories from Nigeria and Africa. Local Flavor.
That is a massive world record.
Alright, yeah, still Sports City on CD 1051809, and we're talking some basketball here right now at this point. And this is a sport I know you will like. You got tall guys with muscles all sweating it out on your sleeveless jersey.
Yes, I do love basketball, especially when they're hopping, to put the ball inside.
You mentioned one basketball player that
she
you know.
doesn't know
LeBron
them.
James. Don't play with me, Michael Jordan. I can
you like older men, it's okay.
You should come watch me play basketball.
Can we get back to the box? Why you sending your pockets down?
I don't know what colleagues, because I don't need to watch him.
Rivers Hoopers are hooping. 2 games right there at the Basketball Africa League for this season at the Kalahari Conference, and they have 2 wins already.
Yeah, definitely 2 wins. It's a second victory for the Rivers Hoopers. And make we not forget, they got their first victory over Stade Malien. Yes, 81-60 victory. That one
good
was
defensive performance.
Absolutely, and they followed that up yesterday in an encounter that was slightly more difficult for them, but it was good to see them come good in that one, defeating FUS Darabat of Morocco by 6 points.
They are the home team, by the way.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to forget the conference win, and then at the Kalahari Conference 9 and day as it is right now. It was also good to see the likes of Kevin Amayo come good in that game. They was played yesterday. He got 23 points in that one to actually ensure that the Rivers Hoopers maintain their unbeaten record. Next up for them, they face Al Ittihad. I think that's going to be a very difficult encounter.
Ittihad are also unbeaten. They have 2 wins from 2-2 in the Kalahari Conference. So it's a case of which one of these 2 teams will break away from this tournament right now at the Basketball Africa League. And happy. In the past times, we've seen our teams not start so well, and then they're trying to hustle and jostle for the playoff a space much later. But this is looking different for them at this point in time. A shout out to the Rivers Hoopers. From there, let's go to the CAF on the 17th AFCON. talking about the few teams that have booked their place for the Under-17 World Cup.
Yeah, in this particular tournament, 10 teams are going to the World Cup. So the teams that finish first and second qualify automatically.
Nigeria, they are not there.
Oh no, can we stay with the teams that are there? Morocco finished top of Group A after getting a 3-0 win in their final one against Tanzania, so they've qualified for the World Cup. Same thing with Zambia. They both finished with 7 points. Burkina Faso won all 3 games and they've topped their group, and South Africa finished second as well. So these teams have qualified for the Under-17 World Cup. For the likes of Egypt as well as Uganda, they are third. They are going to play a playoff to see whether they will progress to the World Cup as well. Just to let you know, Senegal plays Somalia, Gambia play Tunisia today, and also
Somalia through to the next round. I'm shocked.
No, they are eliminated.
Oh, okay.
They are the ones then. Tunisia, Senegal, and Gambia will at least get a playoff spot.
Yeah, it's going according to how I said it was going to be.
Ivory Coast, Mali, Angola against Central African Republic. Central African Republic cannot qualify automatically, but they might make the playoffs.
All right, so the situation there takes us to the NPFL, the Nigeria Premier Football League. Well, when we're talking about this one on Friday, I did say Remo Stars are going to lose to Rivers United, but they will still win the league.
Well, hopefully it will go as you have said it will go.
Obviously, 5 points with a game in hand.
Yeah, hopefully. But then again, my prediction came true. Mona gave my flowers. Yes, I did predict that Rivers United will beat Remo Stars. Before I even said that. And yes, exactly what happened. Lobby Stars was able to secure a point. Against Sunshine Stars of Akure. They came back.
That one kind of surprised us.
Very
they were away from home.
Against Sunshine. They were home.
No, they were the home side.
Yeah.
We all thought they would continue, especially also the fact that they were knocked out of the Federation Cup by Solution FC right there from Anambra. So Sunshine, both teams in relegation, but I think Sunshine will be the team that will be like, we've got 1 point away, at Lobby Stars.
Yeah, definitely. And it was good to see Eimba getting a 2-1 victory over Abia Warriors. Katsina United and Bayelsa United played out a 1-1 draw. Niger Tornadoes getting a 2-0 victory over El Kanemi Warriors. And for Aqua United, they lost away at Nasarawa United, 2-0. Shooting Stars couldn't score in that tie against Ikorodu City, and neither could Ikorodu City. That one ended in a goalless draw. Kwara United couldn't get a goal away at Plateau United, just like I predicted. I said, win or draw for Plateau. Plateau were able to get a point. Kwara couldn't score. Bendel Insurance, the huffed and puffed, but in the end, it was a goalless draw against Rangers. Shame on Rangers. Rangers couldn't score.
Shame on Rangers. We'll be away team.
They couldn't score. They couldn't score. But you thought Rangers would beat Bendel Insurance.
I said Bendel Insurance was definitely not going to win. I said Bendel Insurance was not going to win. I said Rangers would definitely pick a point.
Why are you going to go lose? Why a point?
Bendel cannot score at
Why a point?
It's appalling.
But anyway, it is
all in all, I can see that of the 10 matches this weekend, there were 5 draws. No team won on the road. And also, despite the red cards to Lobby Stars, they held on to for drawing that match. That's why United too. That's where another red card we saw at the weekend. Aqua United. You're trying to survive. This is not the time to be getting red cards. It is not the time for key players to be missing, into the final running of the season, because we've got at least Aqua United, they have 6 matches left.
Some teams have 7.
Yes, and that's Lobby Stars have played 31, Ikorodu have played 31, Katsina have played 31. So there are standing matches between Ikorodu United and Katsina United, and Remo Stars will be the team to play Lobby Stars, and they will be the team to get 3 points against Lobby Stars. That's the way I see it.
An opportunity for Remo to extend their lead because it's just 5 points between Remo, who sits at the top, and Rivers United in second.
Yeah, and talking about third, that's Abia Warriors. Despite their loss at the weekend against their state rivals, that is Eimba, there in Aba. They are a team from Umuahia. They lost in Aba. They're 2-1 to Eimba. They stay there because Shooting Stars could not themselves get a win at the weekend against Ikorodu City. Bottom place, that Lobby Stars, they were 24 points. Sunshine Stars have 35 points. Lobby should be relegated already. Aqua United 37 and Heartland, they also have 38 points. Talking about relegation, we're taking that one over to the Premier League, and also a team that we thought would be winning the league very, very soon, but that has been extended by at least one more match, and that takes us to the Premier League there on World Soccer Scene.
Some call it football.
What a ball! He did it again!
Others call it soccer. Whichever way, it's all about the brown leather game on World Soccer Scene. Sports City.
Liverpool coming together. McAllister first to seize on it. Takes it on and scores a sensational goal. That's in by Pereira. Curtis Jones has got it. Sessegnon! He's found them level against the leaders. Poor ball by Robertson. Iwobi, the grateful recipient. Iwobi for the lead. A gift from Robertson spelled trouble. What a fabulous touch that was by Muniz, who squeezed it under Callaghan and extended Fulham's lead. Bradley, and in from Luis Diaz. A quick break from Liverpool.
I think it was a good fight from Fulham. Liverpool, by the way, they looked unusually full of mistakes and errors at the back. But kudos to Fulham. How did they get that 3-2 win against Liverpool?
Well, you already talked about it. Liverpool were just very poor. As far as I'm concerned, they just didn't come with that fire, that desire, and Fulham did make the most of the opportunities. It was good to see Alex Iwobi, with your wish chopsticks from me, getting a goal. I don't understand why he cannot replicate the same form. While
He plays a different role. I've said it times without number.
It doesn't matter. He's still I'm wearing a Super Eagles jersey. But then again, it is what it is. Rodrigo Muniz, Iwobi, and Sessegnon with the goals, and that's how we stayed in the first half. Liverpool did actually score first. McAllister scoring a goal, and we knew that they would come all out in the second half, and that's what happened. You know, Salah, was it Salah? Someone had an opportunity in the first 30 seconds of the second half, but missed it up. I think it was Jota. If Jota had scored that, then Liverpool definitely would have had a chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
And then the second goal they scored came quite late. Diaz at the time, Fulham had settled, and we just knew they would defend with their lives to hold on for all 3 points.
Was it not Javier hit the post?
Yeah,
hit
he
the post
at some point in time. Yeah,
late in the game. I think what I even want to add is the fact that it's very strange for Liverpool to lose a Premier League game when they've scored first. They had gone 48 Premier League matches unbeaten when having scored the first goal. And this was the first time since 2020 that they conceded 3 or more goals in the first half. So mistakes, Robertson had the direct error leading to goal, Curtis Jones, and even Van Dijk was easily
Curtis Jones, I understand his own. The ball just hit him and ricochet.
So I think it's the fact that he's not a natural defender. Your body shape, you don't try to use that part of your body. You turn your body and try to clear it away for a throw in. So I think his own is Robertson's zone. We've been complaining that Robertson has been so underwhelming all season, and it looks like Liverpool will actively need to get into the transfer market in the summer to replace or at least upgrade at both right back and left back.
Good to see Bradley come on later, the natural right back, and we saw what he did also, contributing. So if he can stay fit, he's young, but then injuries seems to hit him early. I think he's a promising right back, for Liverpool in the future. KSI, I think, should have been brought in much earlier. He was brought in the 82nd minute. I was not sure what they wanted KSI to do.
Forever?
I wasn't sure, but the goal scored by Iwobi, I like the fact that he took that shot as a when he did, turn his body to with I think it was his left foot.
Yes, it was.
Exactly. Keleha, no kudos to you.
No,
I think you should be doing better.
Even the third goal that Muniz scored, Kelleher's goalkeeping, and he's a goalkeeper that I really, really respect because I think he's one of the best second choice goalkeepers in the league. But yesterday he didn't cover himself in glory. Michael, you're thinking no mention of Ortega here. I know it's Ortega that's in your mind.
Okay. Talking about not covering self or thing or a match in glory. What was that Manchester derby we saw? When I said on Friday that these are two has-beens coming to play, I was getting sticks for it, right? What did we see?
The single most boring Manchester derby we have ever seen, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe
Damn, still sleeping. He's yawning. He's yawning from what he saw yesterday.
The fact that Pep Guardiola for the first time played one of his most boring football. They just didn't come to the party. They just sat back. For the first time I saw a Manchester United side dominate a Manchester City. It's just that they just couldn't make their chances count. Chances were few and far between if you watch that game. But in the end, as far as I'm concerned, it was what the game deserved, a goalless draw.
If you would give any team flowers from the outcome of this game, which team would that be?
Manchester United. I think Alejandro Garnacho was guilty of messing up some promising positions. Bruno looked really good yesterday.
They had the best chance in the first half.
Exactly.
Man United.
Bruno was being very creative, and even though none of the teams were able to put an XG of up to 1, Man U was 0.91, Man City was 0.49. Man City offered little to no threat yesterday, and I agree with Michael. It's the first time I'm seeing a Guardiola team at the Manchester derby, and they look very toothless. But for Manchester United, unfortunately, good performance, but still a match that they failed to win.
A team who don't normally give us good performances every time we're Tottenham, but the day when they do it gets to mean something, and it meant something for them when they got a 3-1 win against Southampton. Mattis Tell in the score and the penalty later on after Brennan Johnson put 2 goals, one in the 13th minute and the other one in the 42nd minute. And then there was also a 90th minute goal for Matheus Fernandes. But that will not mean too much for Southampton, who have now been relegated by the earliest time in Premier League history.
I'm not surprised about that one. We just knew it was actually a matter of when, not if at all. And
no matter of how soon.
Or how soon. And it happened yesterday, came to fruition. Southampton have been relegated. I felt sad for Joe Aribo for the second time in 3 seasons he's been relegated. Not a good one.
Do you feel sad for Paul Onuachu?
You should go to Trabzonspor in Turkey. You should go to Trabzonspor in Turkey. I won't come Premier League. I won't come Premier League. Don't come nice.
But he has been scoring goals. The only thing for Southampton now is they need at least 2 more points so that they don't have the worst points record in Premier League history. That be 07-08, 11 points.
Yeah, so with 7 matches to go, they're relegated, which is, the earliest time, like we said earlier, that the team haven't relegated in Premier League history. Leicester City are, by the way, there at 17th points. They will play today, much later, against Newcastle. Ipswich are 20 points now, 31 matches played. And, like we said, up top, 11 points between Liverpool and Arsenal. Oh, my maths, forgive me, I said 9 initially. And Forest have 57 points. Chelsea have 53 points. Man City are 5th with 52. If Newcastle win today, I dare say they go the same point with Chelsea. And I think they also go ahead of Chelsea because of goal difference.
No, they'll be, except they defeat Leicester City by 8 goals, which, funny enough, is possible. It's possible. But they'll be on the same point. Chelsea have a 7 goal difference higher. Than them
we're not talking about the goalless draw between Brentford and Chelsea, but let's talk about more exciting things that happened yesterday. Let's go to the La Liga. On Saturday, with a lot of shock when I saw that final scoreline, because I couldn't really see these matches in real time. I wasn't really feeling well on Saturday, so I was trying to recuperate and cover. I spent a lot of time sleeping later in the evening, afternoon too. Valencia going away at the Santiago Bernabeu to get a win.
I'm not surprised. I called it on Friday. I did. Damn, Loju.
Why are you looking? You called it and it happened. Can I rest?
Yeah, please. No, but
Michael.
Did you put your money on
is
it?
Correct twice.
Where did you put your money on it?
No, not credit my account. So it is what it is. 2-1 victory. Vinicius, I'm sure, will still be beating himself. Yeah, definitely. For Valencia to beat Real Madrid. And I'm not going to forget, Vinicius, I'm sure, will be having sleepless nights after that, the final result, because he had an opportunity to actually, score for Real Madrid. A penalty from the spot. It was well saved by...
He gave Mbappe the penalty.
It was Mbappe that even won the penalty. I don't know what's going on with Vini. I don't get it.
But then what's the confidence level of Kylian Mbappe? He has missed about 3 penalties.
And Vini didn't balloon the penalty against Atletico Madrid.
So both of them have been poor. They've both been poor. They've both been poor. So it was good to see Mamardashvili, making that penalty save. For me, he was the much better goalkeeper in the night out. Real Madrid, for whatever reason, didn't have Looney. We had Looney is out, and Courtois obviously wasn't deemed fit enough to start that game, and maybe Valencia capitalized on that one. Hugo Duro did get the winner. He did get the winner in the 95th minute. It was good to see Sadiq Omar, who by the way won the goal of the month award for February. But then at some point in time he was subbed off in that one. But all in all, Valencia, as far as I'm concerned, they are out of the relegation zone. In fact, I don't think they'll be relegated.
So when that happened in the afternoon, and by the time it was 8 p.m. On Saturday night, Barca thought, okay, maybe we could take advantage, go get a win. But Betis said, not here. Yes, at your backyard, we're pulling you down.
You can remember I talked about this, saying Real Betis had won 5 consecutive La Liga games, and I felt that Barca would drop points, and that's exactly what happened. Despite Gavi scoring inside 10 minutes, Nathan scored 10 minutes after 7th and 17th minute. That one ended 1-1. The biggest winners this weekend are Atletico Madrid. They needed the stoppage time
Finally,
winner.
They won.
Yes, they were able to end what has been a horrendous last few weeks. They won by 2-1, even though that still means they are 7 points behind Barcelona. They still won't win the league, but at least they've been able to close the gap on Barca.
Let's go to Italy. In the Serie A too, Inter Milan dropped points.
Yeah, definitely. Inter Milan dropped points from a winning position. Yes, they scored 2. First 2 goals, Damian and Thuram, but somehow, someway, they lost concentration. 2 goals in 9 minutes from Parma players Bernabe and Ondrejka ensured that Parma rescued a point in that one. For Inter Milan, if care is not taken, Napoli might close that gap in that game that they play later this evening.
All right, here too, let's look at some messages coming from you. So, trying to pull up this name. Dotun from Ikeja says, I greet you guys for the job you're doing. The lady in the studio, I greet you especially. It's Ini. Yes, she's a lady here. She's a lady, yes.
You have to cast me.
I'm sorry. Aren't you here?
Hope he's not about to talk about Man U, though.
No. Don't worry. We're not bringing.
Okay,
we've done that. You talked
I don't want to cry. It's a Monday morning, please. I don't want to cry.
You've already talked about how much you love them. Basketballers are tall and sweaty and muscular. So I'll just leave you with those memories and not much.
That's the only thing I said today.
What else did you say?
How about when I spoke about Liverpool, Fulham?
Oh, you did?
Yes, Formula A. All the players I know in this world are well grounded. Formula One.
You got a almighty formula.
So there's Formula E. There's Formula E.
Formula A, Formula One, or whatever you guys said. Any formula. I said a lot of things today, not just about sweaty men.
But that's the one I
remember.
And
them
said,
hopping and looking all fine and all.
But Damloji, you know the almighty formula, right?
Michael, come on now.
Damloji, you know the almighty
Let's
formula.
go some more messages this morning. Good morning, City FM crew. Sammy from my boy. Anybody wake up this weekend deserves an accolade. From Madrid to Inter to Liverpool. A lot of boring games too. Hopefully the Champions League will cheer us up. Show me Kendi says Liverpool will still lose another game, but they will win the league. All right. Michael from Ikeja Cement says, if it is true that what I'm hearing about Shooting Stars, that the beat Ikorodu City and the fans destroyed the Shooting Stars boss, they should be relegated. Nice one for Real Madrid, not a good result for Barca and Man City. Adigoke Adishola says, I was disappointed in Shooting Stars for playing a draw at home when they need to do better. Arsenal needs to play better with the way they played against Everton on Saturday if they want to have a chance against Real Madrid. Right? Sojeski from Oman says, Shooting and Chelsea sports my weekend. At least Man you try hold City for me. That lady that is single, tell her I want to be her man. Oh.
Sojeski, a man from Oman wants you.
Oh man, Ini. He wants to be your man.
From Oman. It's from Oman. You know golf money now. Golf money.
On X, Jeremiah writes, Happy New Year to you guys in the studio. Congratulations to PSG for winning their league. That's and true. I see them winning the Champions League. Wow. That's a bold prediction.
That's a very bold one. More messages on WhatsApp this time around. Shola says, all home teams in La Liga couldn't win this past weekend. If only we Stakers could foresee results. And for Ramsdale, relegating for the third time in the Premier League, what do you guys think of this? He's playing for relegation threatening teams.
All right, in the Bundesliga, both Bayern and Leverkusen won at the weekend. Bayern already won on Friday. Leverkusen did win also. I think it was on Saturday.
Bayern won on Friday. Leverkusen won on Saturday.
Yeah. So it's still a lot of points. Spaces of 6 points, which means that Harry Kane is now 6 matches away from winning his first title. Yes, that is what it is.
It could be
maybe 4 matches.
Yeah, because there are 6 matches left. So.
Yeah, they could lose the matches. So. Yeah, I'm just saying 6 matches away from winning his first title. If he's Harry Kane, it's not over until it is over.
Do something.
If Liverpool loses their
Aisha Tilala says, seems all the big teams decided to conspire to cut people's tickets, and Liverpool have got nothing to fear. The team behind them is Arsenal. If they're sharing first place for free, Arsenal will sleep and miss it.
Hey! Okay. So on this note, we would have to say the show is done for today. Aisha Tilala, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much for that message.
Wow.
We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 8. Later tonight, we're here on Late Edition. The 2 guys here, Damloju and Michael, will be here with you on Late Edition at 8:30 to follow through the Premier League action between Newcastle and Leicester and other things happening. Myself and Annie will transition for the rest of Breakfast in the City today. We've got some game elements coming for you today. Yes, you'd like it, you'd love it. Breakfast in the City continues all the way to 10, and Chiwete says he should be done right now with, is it just coffee break he went for or something else?
He's also been checking on a few colleagues.
Someone is giving me some sign on the side that he's doing something else. Prodigy, please
keep it radio friendly.
I would not. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day this Monday.
Sports City, the home